Monster Island Secrets. Well, thank you everyone for helping the channel get to over 200,000 subscribers. Not long ago, something like this would have felt impossible. To my subscribers, thank you for the continued support. It really goes a long way. To non-subscribers, the button's right there. You just click that subscriber button. It's right there! As promised, here are some more Monster Island secrets. I apologize if I sound a little bit like I have a cold, because I have a cold. Episode 111 is a real turning point for the whole saga, as it kicks off when the three main buddies would start going on their own paths. It actually starts with an exterior of Jet's house. I'm not sure I've showed the exterior of his house before or since. Clearly it's a stock photo. I know I showed Godzilla's exterior too. Did I ever show Rodan's house exterior? I honest to God can't remember what I used for that bird shit. Yogurt, maybe? I don't think it's ice cream. This is why we need to get to these secrets goals quicker. I'm starting to forget everything. It's not often the title of the episode is in the episode. I'd like to do that when it feels like it fits. I'm actually inside my garage here, facing outward. If I'm on the outside facing inward, then it's Gigan's garage we're showing.
Ultraman's in town. Yeah, he's auditioning monsters for a new superhero team.
Let's pause the flyer to get a good look at it. I won't read it to you, but I just want to point out the no dental plan line. In his pre-Paradox episodes, Ultraman switched from the good guy team to the bad guy team exclusively because they had a dental plan.
Godzilla and I thought it would be fun if the three of us joined. You mean the four of us? Ah!
This joke where they didn't realize Gorosaurus was there is a callback to his first appearance. Years later, they still forget when he's with them. So we're rolling things back to episode 108, but from a different point of view. These two episodes overlapped, which is always a lot of fun to do. As per the flyer, this location is the Monster Island Community Center. One day I'd like to draw a map of this Monster Island. It's got like, what, 2 bars, a gym, a city hall, some ruins.
Mogira? What's this? It's a letter.
I've had some really eagle-eyed viewers catch this. Mogira's letter is written in real binary code, and if you translate it, it is exactly what she's reading in the voiceover. I went all in on this joke. It took years, but recently we finally got to see this again from Mogira's point of view and get more context why she had to leave. And we know that she left to go lead the Mysterians because Belial killed their leader. Here's Jet's depression montage, which is pretty tame since we've already seen him go on a coke bender and kill a hooker.
How much, baby? The money's on the counter. Oh shit, she's dead. Get in there, get in here.
Although we have seen Tifa since, so I guess somehow she's alive. I like that he went to an open mic night. I laughed shooting that. And I was super proud of Jet's wardrobe here. I was actually amazed because there was a little bit of Sweats Jaguar fan art after this. His shirt was ripping there because I did have to stretch it to get it over Jet's body.
No, it's cool. We can skip Ultraman's meeting.
Leave me!
Oh, okay.
If there was a what-if episode of this show where Godzilla and Rodan stayed here, everything would be different. Here's another little scene that overlaps with another episode. 45 years before 2018 was 1973, the year Godzilla vs. Megalon came out. I named this toy Dr. Ibuki after the Dr. Ibuki in the movie, although this toy looks much more like he would just be with John Smith or something like that. This is the scene where Ibuki's showing off his jet unit, and in a recent episode we rolled back even earlier to show him introducing the Jet Panther prototype. This poor guy, every time he finishes a project that is all proud, he gets rejected.
Do you still plan to create my teammates?
I'm so sorry, Jet. It looks like you're gonna stand alone.
So it looks like Ibuki is showing compassion here, but we'll later learn that he only really sees Jet as machinery. I had a blast giving Jet a backstory and trying to explain everything. Because before this, just going by the pre-Paradox episodes, all I had was his long serial number and references to working at Chuck E. Cheese. The line, "I stand alone," started way back in Season 1, and back then it was just a punchline to a joke.
I stand alone.
Now it's actually a major theme in Jet's journey and his search for purpose. Sometimes the person you connect with over a shared pain isn't who you expect. I thought using Gigan for that scene would really hit that point.
I guess things do get better. It just happens a little bit at a time. Yeah. Just a little bit at a time.
Honestly, I like ending on this line, but I also wanted to end on a joke, and it was late in editing that I threw this card in. Something interesting about the title card for episode 112 is that it shows Gigan's father, whose name is Dangan, but Dangan doesn't appear in this episode. I made the title card early, and originally he was going to appear at the end, but he'd wind up being saved for later, but I just kept him in the title card. And this episode opens with the establishing shot and score that we'd see with these guys in the early days of the show. Sometimes it feels really nice to pull out something from the old days.
Here we go! Oh, man, I messed up, you guys. Let me start over. Oh.
That's me playing the piano here, so be very impressed. And here's Girl Gan, the sister to Guy Gan. Waka waka. Girl Gan is a bootleg of Guy Gan that looks like his race might look without the cyborg parts, and that was perfect for the story. But I need to intervene with a really funny story about this Girl Gan toy. You might have seen this on Twitter already. One day in 2022, I grabbed this toy, and I heard something rattling around inside. So I popped the leg off, and inside was a small toy dirt bike. And I was able to identify it as a Tonka dirt bike from 1982. I don't know how a dirt bike got in there or how long it's been there, but this dirt bike was in the toy's leg this whole episode. At the time, it must have been just really stuck in there somewhere, and then later, I guess it got dislodged, and that's how I was able to hear it.
Hey, is it cool that we're talking about all this in front of the robot Ray?
MacLeod says robot in Pig Latin. Now we get Gigan's origin and learn why he's a cyborg.
Did you know that when he was little, this idiot accidentally set off a Type 2 thermal warp jumper Krylon accelerator grenade and blew off half his body? We should have let him die, but instead we made him a cyborg. Giving him those hook for hands was my idea.
In earlier drafts, I remember it was going to be way different. I was going to have flashbacks of Kid Gigan living in an orphanage on Monster Island, and Kid Godzilla was there too. And I was going to retcon a little history between them, but then I decided to keep Godzilla out of his journey. We now know that Gigan could kick her ass anytime he wants to. He just never wants to.
Come over here, Clank.
Ooh, she called Jet Clank, which has become somewhat of a derogatory name for robots in this world. Clank and Mecha Tin Can. It felt off having Jet kick a woman while she was down, but I think this line softened that a little bit.
I think he was flirting with me.
Alright, our team name is the Jets. Now let's go pee in the community pool. Mazel tov!
So the team is no longer called the Lesbians like it was in the early days. Technically now they're the Jets. The song here is the one Gigan was trying to play early in the episode. More Jet Jaguar lore! Dr. Ibuki is trying to hide Jet, so he cashes in a favor with Chuck E. Cheese. But this is 1973, and Chuck E. Cheese didn't open until 1977, and nobody pointed that out. This whole thing is wrong. In 1973, there were like 2 or 3 arcade games at all. And again, there was no restaurant animatronic bands in 1973. But anyway, here's confirmation of Jet's history with Freddy that was mentioned a few episodes earlier. And now we get to explain why Jet's small in all of the Monster Island Baby episodes, and why he has the personality he has, and why he doesn't remember anything. This model has a built-in optimism amplifier.
Hi!
You can also change sizes. Jet, go to small form.
Hey, okay, boss.
Jet's already seeing Ibuki as family, and a lot of Ibuki's dialogue here doesn't exactly connect with his sentiments later on.
But then I'll forget you, creator.
It's for your own safety, Jet.
But you're my family.
All these little Chuck E. Cheese toys are actually my childhood figurines. I got them when I was really young. The dog is Jasper, and the purple monster is Mr. Munch. Here's the Jet Panther reveal. Man, it's something doing this secrets after just finishing Godzilla vs. Jet Jaguar, because 5 years of setup for that whole thing. I just can't believe it's been that long already. It's a Mad Life is the annual Christmas special and an obvious parody of the Christmas classic It's a Wonderful Life. There's the Roman numeral for 2018. That's the same ledge Frisky jumped from in his first episode, and speaking of Frisky, there he is!
Yeah, let's do this. Show me this apocalyptic world where I never protected the Earth. What the fuck is this shit?
I love this bit. I think it's really funny. There's a rider at the bar, and Mechagodzilla and Mothra are back to the figures they originally were in the show. The Ultraman episodes don't perform the best, but I have so much fun pissing off that character. It's fun to piss off, like, Rodan, but Ultraman's usually an asshole who deserves to get pissed off, so it hits different.
When I say Ultra, you say 7! Ultra! 7! Ultra! 7!
Ultra 7 did the same chant in his first appearance. I don't have a lot of secrets about this video, except I remember rushing it. I came up with the idea very late in December, so this is one of those deals where an entire weekend was dedicated to getting this done. Oh, and there's a cameo from the little shit elf from the previous Christmas special.
Huh! Look! Mothra says that every time a bell rings, a snowman gets his wings.
Apparently this joke was also done in an episode of iCarly, which is a show I've never watched once, but I remember a strange amount of people in the comments pointing that out. This ends with a little tease for the following episode, which will be Terror of Dr. Gory. That's a ship with Ghidorahs there. Now we start a two-part story. Dr. Gory is the big bad from the show Spectreman. He is indeed from Planet E in the show, so I figured we have a Planet E and a Planet X. Why not do an Alphabet Galaxy joke? I'm not the first to do it. I've seen it in Duck Dodgers. It's just a classic joke. That's my hand in a gorilla glove. I have gorilla gloves. I do not own a full-body gorilla suit. If I did, you'd have seen it by now.
And exiled to the Phantom Zone!
The Phantom Zone, eh? Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Oh, sorry, this is the wrong deportation form. You both will be exiled to Earth!
No!
The Phantom Zone is obviously a Superman reference. These guys might be on the more obscure side to my viewers, but they are some of my absolute favorite characters to play with in this series.
Train! Train! Keep eating those veggies, Pigman. I didn't want to be the one to tell you this, but the group thinks you're fat and ugly.
You can hear the monsters in training guitar riff as the monsters train in my garage. In this reflection of the iPad, you can see part of my Mystery Science Theater 3000 mini poster that was signed from their 30th anniversary tour. Also, Ultra 7 is in Ultraman's contacts as the douche.
God damn it! Bye!
And another character who leaves saying bye, a joke that started before my partnership with bye.jp. Maybe it was Destiny.
Guys, get together! Ultra Baka assemble! I have a villain we can go fight. This newspaper says that some guy in red is going around killing kaiju. Boring!
Here's a reference to Redman, who's been a Monster Island serial killer in the background pretty much the entire post-Paradox saga so far. Godzilla and Rodan are working on a Mobile Suit Gundam Gunpla. I did make it, and then it broke. So these are some Ghidorah customs I made one day, both with Mecha King Ghidorah bodies, but no mecha heads. Beating up the red Ghidorah toy to age it was a lot of fun.
This here is my intern, King Ghidorah. King is a very common name on Planet X. I'm not sure why I just said that.
So the only reason this King Ghidorah is an intern is to just draw a parallel to the A-plot with Ultraman Zero being an intern.
Take him.
Ooh! Hey, what are you doing? No! Ow! Ah!
For a dumb sidekick, Karas is pretty brutal. He's watching the Monster Island Frog Show, which started a while back as an April Fool's video, and now it's kind of become this show's version of the Hypno-Toad.
Hyper Mecha King Ghidorah!
Annihilate. Annihilate.
And now you know where the spare Mecha King Ghidorah heads from the other figures went. I wanted to make myself a custom Hyper Mecha King Ghidorah, which is a character that debuted on the show Godzilla Island.
Oh, Ultra Beth, touch my Ultra helmet.
Our first hint that Ultraman's got the hots for Beth. The news Chiron says, what a bunch of assholes. I forgot I did that.
Previously on Monster Island Buddies.
The mad scientist Dr. Gory and his henchman Karas were exiled from their home planet. Here's part 2. This episode opens with Claire de Lune, which in an early trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters opened with.
Ooh, boss! I accidentally changed the channel on the monitor over here.
Karas changed the channel to show an old 1980s Dr. Pepper ad with Godzilla.
Ooh, never mind. This channel has cartoons.
Now he's got the 1914 animated short Gertie the Dinosaur. This is one of the first episodes to use a lot of green screen. It was experimental for me. Some fans didn't love that I got too heavy on green screen, but it's just easier for the stuff I wanted to happen to happen this way. I personally love this two-parter.
Turn off the beam.
You can see some of the string that was holding up Godzilla. And this is an old Wile E. Coyote cliff joke here. Wile E. Coyote is my absolute favorite cartoon character ever. And this episode ends with a teaser of Red Ghidorah sensing Ghidorah energy. It was meant to be a reference to the Ghidorah energy in Rodan and Mothra and her egg. I shot this in my backyard during a snowy day and added some snowfall too. And it's a perfect place to end the secrets for now. I think next time I'll do episodes 116, 117, and 118, then jump to 121. Then in a following video, I'll do 119, 120, 122, and 123, which make up the movie Destroy All Godzillas. Tell me what you think of that plan, and also what you think about the episodes we covered today. I'll set the next goal for 210,000 subscribers. When we hit that number, I'll crank out the next secrets. Until then.